There's a popular notion about cheap construction that you just need to do your homework or be a smart shopper and you'll be able to renovate a house for $200,000. But it's a lot harder than that. And I don't even think it's feasible for most people. But I did buy my house for very little money and I did renovate it for less than $200,000. So while I'm wary about giving this advice to anyone who's watching this right now, it can be done. And I'm happy to tell you how I did it. But buyer beware. My name is Jeff Sherman. This is my house. This house was falling apart when I found it, but the guy who was selling it, who'd grown up here, had let it get so run down he couldn't rent it out anymore, so he used it as a kennel, a free-range puppy mill. Surprisingly, mine was the only offer he got. This house is in a neighborhood that had no name. My map of Brooklyn neighborhoods shows it as a little Bermuda Triangle, the only unclaimed patch in the whole city. Nothing but auto body shops, storefront churches, and vacant lots. I had 3 break-ins in the first year, but it was sandwiched between the up-and-coming neighborhoods of Prospect Heights and Clinton Hill. There were a few things in this house, and only a few things that were still decent and worth keeping. There's a pressed tin wainscoting that runs along some of the walls, and there's a fireplace mantle that turned out to be made out of marble after I sloughed off about a dozen layers of paint and probably a few brain cells. The heart of my design was subtractive, not additive. See, the problem with row house interiors is they tend to be spatially flat and dark in the middle. I imagined I could solve both problems by hollowing out the center of the house and lighting it with a skylight. So essentially I just removed a floor. You can see examples of this, especially in the backyard. There's a rubble path made of crushed concrete left over from concrete found on the site. There's also a path made out of bricks that come either from the construction process or just bricks I found buried in the backyard. There's a leather handle on the chalkboard door. You can buy leather handles, and the reason for a leather handle is so that it'll collapse against the door when the door is fully open against the wall. Mine is made out of an old belt that I had, and that cost me nothing. On the ceiling, you'll see cedar planks. Those are actually just closet lining. You can buy it at Home Depot, and they're designed for cedar closets, but they're more dramatic if you use them to cover an entire ceiling. The wall between my bedroom and the double height space is made of corrugated plastic, and so there's an additional layer that's made of basically shower curtain. It's sheet vinyl that you can buy by the yard, but it's essentially shower curtain there to create a fuzzier transparency. There's a work table in the kitchen from a restaurant supply company. That only cost about $150, which is a lot cheaper than you would pay for a kitchen cabinet with countertop. Then there's the beaded curtain that's in front of the shoe shelves at the foyer. And it's not a particularly expensive curtain, but I needed 2 curtains and I needed them half as wide, so it's made from every other beaded chain is used on each side.